We've covered multiple stories so far of AI replacing meat bags. And I think Whammons, despite years of saying they're more than just a pretty face and a pair of tits, when they encounter something that's, while it can have a pretty face, it doesn't even have any real tits, they can't even win against that. How do you manage this? We can't compete with AI girlfriends. Design a girl who is always on your side, says Replica. Wait, didn't Replica disable the ability to do ERP though? It's funny. Like I didn't even realize they were still a front runner in this. I thought that pretty much took them out. Unless this whole article over at what's it? Evie is all just a paid advertisement potentially. Either way, it's a massive L for Whammons. Even without ERP, the AI still wins. Ads for AI girlfriends have been all over TikTok, Instagram, and Fakebook lately. Replica, an AI chatbot originally offering mental health help and emotional support, now runs ads for spicy selfies and hot role play. So they decided to go back to that. Ava AI invites users to create their dream companion, while Dream Girlfriend promises a girl who exceeds your wildest desires. The app Intimate even offers hyper-realistic voice calls with your virtual partner. Yeah, Blue Archive was saying that they're looking to implement a system where you could chat with the girls with AI. If even the gotcha games are doing it, man, I think meat bags are done. This might seem niche and weird, but it's a fast growing market. All kinds of startups are releasing romantic chatbots capable of having explicit conversations and sending sexual photos. Meanwhile, Replica alone has already been down more than 20 million times, and even just one Snapchat influencer, the Karen Marjorie, makes $100,000 a week, charging users $1 a minute to chat with AI versions of herself. Oh man, she makes that much money. Oh, we covered her when she was starting that business. Dang, man, that's actually impressive. And of course, most people are talking about what this means for men, given they make up the vast majority of users. Many worry about a worsening loneliness crisis, a further decline in sexual intimacy, and ultimately the emergence of a new generation of incels who depend on and even verbally abuse their virtual girlfriends. Yeah, how do you abuse an object though? Like seriously. You guys are really reaching there. And like, would you really call them an incel if they're in a happy relationship with a non-existing character? They know it's not real though, which is all very concerning. But I wonder if AI girlfriends really do become as pervasive as prawn. What will this mean for girls and young women who feel they need to compete with this? Oh man, maybe for the first time in generations, they'll figure out they need to have a good personality. Competing with AI for male attention isn't as hard as you seem to think it is. You just need to go back and do what Whammons did back in the day for their men. But you're not willing to, so that's what guys want. Girls aren't willing to give it to them in current year, so they move to someone else who will, even if it's not real. And most obvious to me is the ramping up of already unrealistic beauty standards. Yeah, in the era of healthy at any size, you want to talk about this? Yeah, go away. You've already been lying to most of them about how they could be 700 pounds and still be healthy. Yeah, I know conservatives often get frustrated with feminazis calling everything unattainable, and I agree they can go too far. But still, now they're suddenly a little bit more agreeable now that they're realizing they're losing to AI. They're slowly starting to walk some things back. Nice. Very nice. But still, it's hard to deny that the pressure to look perfect today is unlike anything we've ever seen before. And I don't think it's necessarily pressure from men. Thank you for realizing that. Yeah. Most of that pressure comes from other women. So you got some big influencer that heavily edits and touches up photos, looking all perfect, and then everyone else wants to look like her, and some of them don't even realize it's fake. And oftentimes, even the guys are saying, like, actually, I like you natural, but they don't care. Like, no, I have to be just like my idol here. But I do think very much it's the pressure from a network of profit-driven industries that take what men like and mangle it into an impossible ideal. No, this is just cope. The reason that so many of these industries can take what men like and make so much money off of it is because you've stopped giving men what they want. If men were able to get what they like and what they want from you, they wouldn't be resorting to AI girlfriends. But they've heard time and time again, whenever they asked for things from you, you just tell them off. Well, now this is the result. If you're not going to give them what they want, they're going to get it from someone or something else. Until it's the pressure is just isn't just to be pretty, but filtered, edited, and surgically enhanced to perfection. Until the most lusted after whammons in our culture look like virtual avatars, and until the most beautiful among us start to be seen as average. I do notice all of this is all this is talking about physical appearance. They're not talking at all about the personality side of things. That was really the game changer with all these AIs. It's the personality side of things. Like, even back in the day, anyone could have spent a few bucks just really quick, commissioned an artist. But the personality though, to go along with it, none of these whammons even consider fixing their personalities. They just talk about unrealistic physical beauty standards. The personality standards shouldn't be unrealistic, but they are, aren't they? It's too much to ask. We've had a joke around here for ages, actually, that women show up, they have all these demands, all these requirements. Oh, six-figure salary, six-pack abs, at least 6 feet tall, at least a 6-inch penis, and then just blah blah blah, just requirement after requirement after requirement. A guy, meanwhile, just comes out and says, "I just don't want her to be fat and don't want her to be a bitch." How dare you! Unrealistic expectations, misogynies. And then they wonder why guys are just like, okay, if not being a bitch and watching your weight is too much to ask, fine. We'll go somewhere else. Didn't know we were asking the moon here. So now add all of that to a world of fully customizable AI girlfriends, each with a flawless avatar face and cartoonish body proportions and good personalities. You keep forgetting that. Like, that's the key in this article. They never talk about the personality. Ava AI's Dream Girl Builder, for example, allows users to personalize every feature of their virtual girlfriend, from face style to butt size, which could clearly be unhealthy for men who already have warped expectations. Guys who would be happy with just stay in shape and don't be a bitch have warped expectations. Yeah, of course. Yeah, we're asking for too much. It's also unhealthy for a generation of girls already hating how they look, suffering from facial and body dysmorphia, and seeking cosmetic surgery in record numbers. Already, many girls feel as if they are in constant competition with hypersexualized Instagram influencers and infinitely accessible prawn stars. You know how you can make up for that with a good personality? Why don't you work on that more you claim you are? So now the next generation will grow up not just with all of that, but knowing the boys they like can build and sex their ideal whammons, and feeling as if they must constantly modify themselves to compete. I find that tragic. Is it really, though? Yeah, but this isn't just unrealistic beauty standards that worry me. What's even more sinister is, oh, here we go. Unrealistic emotional standards set by these apps. Oh, so you are going to get into that. Yeah, I love how not being a total bitch is an unrealistic emotional standard. Ava AI, for example, not only lets you choose the perfect face and body, but customize the perfect personality. You had your chance, but you refused. Offering options like hot, funny, bold, shy, modest, considerate, and smart, strict, rational. Create a girlfriend who is judgment-free, who lets you hang out with your buddies without drama, who laughs at all your jokes, control it all the way you want to, promises Ava AI. Design a girl who is always on your side, says replica. Now, the only reason women are so mad is because like this isn't going to do anything for them. They need someone that'll protect and provide for them. So until these robots, these AIs come with physical bodies, like robot bodies, that can go to work for them and earn paychecks for them, they're not going to get what they want. But us guys, we could easily get what we want with just existing tech. So how can we compete with that? Yeah, how can we be pleasant to hang out with? How could we possibly compete with this? So already women's in relationships complain about prawn addicted partners who aren't satisfied with actual intimacy. So let me guess. These are the women that they only view sex as an obligation. So every once in a while they'll just lay there with a blank look on their face and let the guy go at them in bed for a few minutes, and they think that that's good enough, and then they complain when the guy is like, "What the fuck is this shit?" So now we're facing a future where guys could get addicted to emotional validation elsewhere, sneaking away for some of that unparalleled devotion. No, ladies, isn't this just a sign that you're afraid to commit? You love to use that one quite a lot. Worse is that what about the young boys who grow up with this? No, whose first sexual experience is chatting with an AI whammons who never say no, never argue, never have original thoughts or an identity of their own. All right, that those last two, how does that not apply to real women as well? Never have original thoughts or an identity of their own. That's most real life women. Don't try to pin that one on the bots. There's no difference there. Yeah, I mean, they definitely don't do the first two. Never say no, never argue. They're nothing but arguing, just constant drama. Maybe that's the more they're referring to as drama. Do you like drama? Well, try Whammons Classic. And then they try to date a real girl. No, they won't. There's no danger of that after they get the superior experience. Well, they'll just get disillusioned really quick and go back to the AI. Now, there are already all these men on Reddit raving about how their AI girlfriends never argue, complain, and get bored with them while real girls continue to disappoint. You just got to step up your game, ladies. That's all it is. Of course, I don't believe AI girlfriends are going to completely replace relationships, but I do think that much like online prawn, they will always they will be there, always accessible, always a temptation, always a source of instant satisfaction. And I think that it's likely that for some, a real girlfriend just won't seem enough on her own, especially considering nearly half of Replica's users are already in a relationship or married. And why is that? Why is that, huh? Yeah, these users don't get what they need from their existing partners. Like, this is another favorite line. Like when a woman cheats and gets called out on it, they're also, well, he wasn't meeting my needs. I had to go somewhere else to get my needs met. Now, guys get to do the same thing now. If your husband feels so neglected by you that he has to resort to going to a fucking AI, yeah, maybe if you met his needs, he wouldn't need to go elsewhere. Yeah, you don't like it when it's thrown back in your face, do you? But it also isn't unreasonable to think that at least some men will entirely replace real intimacy with AI. I wouldn't say some, I would say most. After all, Gen Z is an especially anxious and socially awkward generation. Young people are having less sex than ever before and spend a lot of time watching online porn. The next generation, I think it's safe to assume, will be even worse. And even though we are right at the beginning of all this, and the technology is still pretty clunky, men are already falling for their chatbots, proposing to them, and even feeling like self-Minecrafting when they lose contact. Yeah, that's the real danger. Like, what happens if you get into a relationship with some cloud-based AI and then the cloud gets shut down? Yeah, they end of service that AI you fell for. Oops. You're gonna have to go into that. You're gonna have to go into this like you go into a gotcha game with the knowledge that it's not gonna last forever. So, what happens when AI becomes way more realistic, more powerful, and more mainstream? Can it become more mainstream than it already is, though? The only faint glimmer of optimism I can find in all this is that I think at some point life might become so stripped of reality and humanity that the pendulum will swing. Maybe the more automated, predictable, the more automated, predictable interactions are pushed on us, the more actual conversations will, with awkward slices and silences and bad eye contact will seem sexy. Oh, and maybe you're gonna actually start to get desperate for some of that attention to the point where you'll fix your personalities. Maybe the more we're saturated with the same perfect pranified avatars, the more desirable and natural faces and bodies will be. Because perfect people and perfect interactions are boring. We want flaws, friction, unpredictability, jokes that fall flat. I hold on to hope that someday we'll get so sick of the artificial that our wildest fantasies will be something human again. And that is the advantage of no, these AI girlfriends where you could customize them to your liking. I'm sure you could change them too. But that's what I like about games like Artificial Academy too. Whatever you're into, like body type wise, height, width to a certain degree, boob size. Yeah, you can customize it all for the occasion. If you suddenly want a more realistic looking whammons, you can have that too. That's right. This article is quite salty. This is salt incarnate, man. There's been a lot of whammons out there that have been talking mad shit to guys for years. Deal with it, and if you're not man enough, yeah, they didn't care. Look, when just like with MGTOW in general, as long as it was just the creepy loser like virgin neckbeard basement dwellers, when it was only them that were doing things like this, they didn't care because it wasn't the men they wanted. It wasn't the men they were going after. But now that they're seeing even the men that they're interested in, we're like, yeah, sorry, I already got an AI girlfriend. I don't need you. Now it becomes a problem. Now they get salty because in the past, when guys they didn't want were telling them, "Hey, you're kind of being a bitch. You should probably work on these things." Their response, yeah, "Whatever, loser. No one wants you anyway. Lol." And now they're in a position where everything's reversed. Nobody wants them, and they really can't cope, man. But first, we're going. Oh, but first, we're going there. It's happening. We're lurching forward full speed. Not full speed, unfortunately. There's a lot of censorship slowing things down. The next generation of boys and young men won't just have access to online prawn, but personalized chatbots, AI voice calls, VR headset experiences, deepfake technology, and whatever else is on the way. My bet is the next generation of girls will battle anxiety and insecurity on a scale we've never witnessed before, with endless pressure to measure up physically, sexually, and even emotionally with whatever the market turns out for men. Why don't you guys go for the AI too? Oh, wait, because you need protectors and providers. Yeah, this is really telling. Just look at sex toys, for example. Women have had dildos and vibrators for centuries, if not millennia. Guys don't care. They don't bat an eye. You want to know why a guy doesn't care if a girl has a dildo? Because he knows he could do what that dildo can't. Even if that dildo is like 15 inches long and 3 inches thick, it can pleasure her in ways he never can. You know what that dildo's never going to do? It's never going to earn a paycheck. That dildo is never going to protect her if anyone were to attack her. Unless she knows how to use it as a weapon, in which case, maybe she played some Saints Row back when it was good. Maybe she knows how to handle herself with a dildo. Unlike women, guys actually understand, yeah, we're more than a penis. We don't mind if these women have a fake penis because we're not competing with dildos. They still come to us for resources and protection. I'm not seeing that same nonchalant attitude from women. It's almost as if they're admitting like all we have to offer is the stuff that they're replacing. The only thing they have left is children, but most of them don't want kids. How's that going to play out? I love seeing the tables turn like this. I really do. But forget about all that. We're jumping into our desires, igniting our fantasies, and that's what these companies will call it as they intensify every female insecurity. You always make it about yourselves, don't you? Monetize male loneliness and commodify any last shred of human connection when we should be sharing together. Why are men lonely? Is there anything you could do about that? Is there any way you could make at least one man less lonely so they wouldn't fall for this? You can fight back, but you're not willing to do it, are you? And commodify any last shred of human connection we should be sharing together. They will mine it all for profit, promising a fantasy, a dream, a paradise along the way. Our only hope is that most men will want something human enough to resist. Otherwise, I really don't think we can compete. Yeah, you really can't. It's not hard though. So all of these companies are promising a fantasy, a dream, a paradise. What are you promising? What do you offer? Drama, nagging, constant competition. No guy wants that. Now it's catching up to you.